Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. Bill Clinton said democracy requires a consistent set of rules for everybody.
You can't keep a democracy if there's one set of rules for one group and another set for everybody else. We do actually need to live under the same set of rules.
But of course, that same set of rules doesn't apply to the Clintons.
110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received. 8 of those chains contained information that was top secret at the time they were sent. 36 of those chains contained secret information at the time, and 8 contained confidential information at the time. We do assess that hostile actors gained access to the private commercial email accounts of people with whom Secretary Clinton was in regular contact from her personal account. We also assess that Secretary Clinton's use of a personal email domain was both known by a large number of people and readily apparent. She also used her personal email extensively while outside the United States, including sending and receiving work-related emails in the territory of sophisticated adversaries. Given that combination of factors, we assess it is possible that hostile actors gained access to Secretary Clinton's personal email account. Given the importance of the matter, I think unusual transparency is in order. Although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case.
In other words, there's a different set of rules for Hillary Clinton than there is for Donald Trump. Then a few weeks later, when WikiLeaks exposed the malfeasance contained in Hillary's emails, Hillary declared that her own emails were Russian disinformation. Hillary lost the election, and then the FBI started paying for actual Russian disinformation in their efforts to frame the President of the United States. The FBI and the Democrats kept their coup attempt against President Trump going for all 4 years of his presidency. The FBI successfully interfered in both the 2018 and 2020 elections. But they ran into a snag in 2020. Hunter Biden's laptop exposed Biden family corruption in the Ukraine. It showcased Biden family influence peddling and made clear that Joe Biden could easily be blackmailed by influential people in the Ukraine. So the FBI and U.S. intelligence agencies did exactly what you'd expect them to do. They lied about Hunter Biden's laptop in order to influence the 2020 election. Dozens of top people in the intelligence community said that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. And they got social media to censor critically important information about the Biden family ahead of the 2020 election. 79% of people believe the election outcome would have been different if the intelligence agencies hadn't covered up the Hunter Biden laptop story. In 2018, Joe Biden bragged that he used $1 billion of taxpayers' money to extort the Ukrainian government into firing the prosecutor who was investigating Joe Biden's son.
And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, "No," I said, "I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion." They said, "You have no authority. You're not the president." The president said. I said, "Call him." I said, "I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion." I said, "You're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here." And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, "I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money." Well, son of a got fired.
And then when President Trump tried to reopen this critically important investigation, the Democrats impeached him. The level of corruption from the Democrats, intelligence agencies, and the press is off scale. And the press calls this corruption fortifying democracy. Here's an article from Time magazine last year, "The Secret History of the Shadow Campaign That Saved the 2020 Election." A well-funded cabal of powerful people ranging across industries and ideologies working together behind the scenes to influence perceptions, change rules and laws, steer media coverage, and control the flow of information. They were not rigging the election, they were fortifying it. So when Democrats completely corrupt the election process, the press describes it as fortifying democracy. But when Peter Thiel donates money to try to clean up the mess the Democrats and press created, the press describes his efforts to restore democracy as disrupting America's democracy. The press and Democratic leadership have zero integrity and are completely out of control. Toto's been pulling back the curtain on this insanity for the past 14 years. You can visit him, Kyrie Caesar, Toki and Upla on the web at realclimatescience.com.